As far as its dedicated touring lineup is concerned, Honda pretty much only had the GoldWing to offer. An absolutely brilliant bike. I loved every moment I had with it for the review. But let's be serious here, not everybody has $30,000 to throw down on a bike. So what did Honda do? Well, they decided to take the Africa Twin, remove all of the things that made it a great off-road bike, keep all of its bad things, restyle it, and call it a day. Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than shaving your eyebrows evenly, but not by much. Honda has just announced its NT1100 sports tourer, and I really think you're gonna love it, or most of it. Let's get into some details here, compare it with my impressions of the Africa Twin, and see what Honda is pushing to market. The Africa Twin is an overall great bike, a staple in its adventure category, but if you're not into the whole off-roading scene, getting one for purely paved roads is a bit of a waste. You've got a 21-inch front wheel, which is great for off-road, but makes the bike harder to steer on mountain passes, for example. Certain trade-offs have been made in order for it to be a proper dual sport bike, and you don't need them if you're only sticking to paved roads. Welcome Honda's new NT1100 Sports Tourer. And yes, while built entirely on the Africa Twin platform, with the NT1100, Honda wanted to cater to owners which desired a traditional touring bike, something they got right with the Pan-European and the Deauville models, which still have a loyal following even today. Engine-wise, it's the same 1084cc parallel twin as on the AT. Power figures are almost identical as well at 100 horsepower and 104 Nm of torque. What Honda did change, however, on it was to add new intakes and an exhaust silencer in order to beef up its mid-range. Unlike the Africa Twin, which needs low down power for off-roading, the NT1100 will be spending most of its day in the mid-range, so that is where all the magic needs to happen. I loved this engine while spending time with the Africa Twin, and while on paper you're only getting a measly 100 horsepower from an 1100cc engine, trust me, for some unknown reason it feels like a lot more. I never felt that I needed more power out of it regardless of where I was riding, and its overall sound was brilliant as well. The frame, also the same as on the Africa Twin, so Honda didn't come up with a custom one here. It's a steel one with an aluminium subframe. Its wheelbase is a little shorter at 1535mm. Honda has also played around with its rake angle, all of this in an effort to make the bike feel more comfortable while riding on paved roads. The suspension is also very road focused, 43mm showers on the front, with preload adjustability. Nothing mentioned yet about the semi-active suspension like on the Adventure Sports. The suspension travel, however, both on the front and on the rear is now only 150mm compared to the AT's massive 230mm, and I think this is a great thing. The amount of brake dive while braking aggressively on the Africa Twin I found to be too much. With the much shorter travel now, hopefully the new NT will be much better behaved while braking hard. This has also led to a big reduction in seat height. We're now looking at just 820mm or 32.3 inches, which will definitely make the NT more attractive for a larger audience. The wheels have changed as well, 17 inches on both sides instead of 21 and 18 on the AT. This will make the bike a lot easier to push into corners, and coupled together with the shorter suspension, its stable frame and that lovely engine, the NT1100 is shaping up to be a brilliantly comfortable long-distance tourer. Bodywork and wind protection have been heavily modified, and while the Africa Twin had good-ish wind protection, the NT seems to have gone above and beyond. There is now a huge windshield that is adjustable in 5 different positions, and Honda has also added some wind deflectors on the sides, which in my experience make a big difference. Unfortunately, that clunky, non-intuitive and overly complicated instrument cluster has also made it over from the Africa Twin. There are entire YouTube videos dedicated to showing you exactly how to set your Africa Twin up, and When you need videos for that, you know you messed up, Honda. The one positive thing about it is that it comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is always a good thing. Riding modes, traction control, ABS, wheelie control, all your rider aids are there, and the good news is that they are all included as standard, as is cruise control, heated grips, a USB port, a 12-volt plug, and in some markets you get the side panniers as well. The NT can also be ordered with Honda's DCT system, their dual clutch transmission, which makes the bike basically automatic. It's a great system, works wonderful as long as you keep it on the Sport 2 setting. It's got 4 different settings, but anything below Sport 2 and it will change gears too fast, so the bike will end up vibrating a lot, and Sport 3 will change them too late. Personally, I would go for the manual version with the quick shifter installed. It's a lot more fun, it's cheaper, and it also weighs less. Price-wise, I was only able to find pricing for the British, and there it will be sold for 12,000 British pounds, which is about 1,000 less than the base Africa Twin. So with all of the stuff that comes as standard on the NT1100, it's shaping up to be quite good value for money. February is when we should be seeing it on dealership floors. I'm quite excited about it, I can't wait to test it out, and I really think Honda have a winner on their hands here. A lot of people don't actually take their bikes off-road, and until now they were pretty much stuck with the Africa Twin as the only choice for long-distance touring from Honda. The NT1100 now changes this, so why don't you jump down in the comment section below and let us all know, what would you go for, the NT or still the Africa Twin? Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our Patreons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.